Hi there, my name is Kate and the guy cycling with me is the husband Nigel. We have fun riding hardtail mountain e-bikes. We're seniors though and don't ride the high level technical routes. We prefer easier routes that are off-road as much as possible. Finding routes suitable for our level of cycling proficiency has been a challenge. Consequently, I thought it might be useful to others to upload some of these routes, highlighting the ride's terrain in particular so that other cyclists can view and assess if the ride is suitable for themselves. I hope you find this useful, and if so, please give me a thumbs up. Okay, today's ride we're going to do on the Caldbeck Fells. So we've parked up at the side of the minor road from Grisdale through to Caldbeck. Oh, lovely, our first little thing. That's nice. We're going to climb up and then just before Caldbeck, we're going to take a left onto the old mining roads that take us up onto the Caldbeck Fells. You can park up here for the space. We go left here, Nigel. Where are you going, dear? Gotta keep them right. Please do not feed the ponies. Well, I saw them on the left-hand side, but couldn't get a close enough view of them. Maybe see them on the way back. Anyhow, we're heading off from this point. You can see the track going off there, straight ahead of me in the distance. It's an old mining track. Caldbeck Fells, heading to Fellside. Then a short section on a minor road, and we'll take another track, part of the Cumbrian way that heads for Longlands. Come on then, Poppet, let's go. Again. So it says public bridleway Fellside 3 miles. So 3 miles rough gravel and grass ahead. Just drop my power down a bit more here. Slightly a bit rougher. Take the grass route. It's a bit smoother. Just a gentle uphill climb, as you'd kind of expect. We are going up a fell at the end of the day. It's a good track. Surface, loose gravel through to loose small stones. But for us, perfectly rideable. Obviously, it depends on your riding ability. I mean, I don't think there'll be anybody worse than us, if I'm honest, so if we can do it. But cycling over loose gravel and loose small stone is not everybody's ideal of a nice bike ride. But this is off-road, it's just got to be done. My husband must be admiring the view. It's a shame it wasn't clearer.
Yeah.
You can see for miles. Anyhow, onwards. Heading for Fellside. That's a village or a hamlet of Fellside, because we're on the Fellside. I know. Okay, so I'm recording this on a Hero or a GoPro Hero 10 that I've just got, so I'm still getting the hang of it. I've put a remote control actually on the bicycle itself, so I can just press it and start it off, which is turning to be really good.
Although this is quite bumpy, the actual ride itself, when you see it on video, is quite smooth. Woohoo! I find that if I stay on the middle bit of grass where it's available, it just cuts out some of the gravel rattle. Just forgotten how lovely this ride is. Beautiful. Up and down dale, but with these bikes, which you'll probably see we're riding Cumbria Action hardtail mountain e-bikes. They've got the Bosch Performance CX motors in them, and my goodness, they don't have motor when you want them to. I do. That's it. Up over the top with more views. I'm going to turn right here where there's a bridleway marker and go across the actual bracken. I'm just hoping the ground has dried out sufficient for this. It looks pretty good, because I would imagine all the rain we've had during February, if we hadn't had this last week, 10 days of dry weather, this would be quite boggy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, we don't have dropper seats on these bikes, but I have put on a thud buster, which is supposed to just take the edge off the bounce. And I think it does work. I'm just watching the husband and seeing how much he goes up and down. No, it's the thud buster I want to go up and down, not your bottom. Ooh. Ooh. That was good. And as I say, this drops into the hamlet of Fellside, and we turn onto a road, head a short distance, and then turn off again, back onto the fell further over to the left, and that drops into Longlands. In the meantime, we've got this lovely route ahead of us. It is fun. So we're going on down to the right-hand side, following the bridleway sign, and I would imagine that's Fellside that we're going to in the bottom. This is it. A lane, a farm track, and we turn to the right. And as often, our first gate. Just coming down off Caldbeck Fells. Whoa, loose stone, like riding on ball bearings. To the left, I think, on this track, Nigel. How far have we come? 4 miles. 4 miles of off-road. A very minor road, so not an issue. So, looking at this, how far have we come? Just over a mile on this route. I think it's just a farm ahead of us, but we're going to turn left. Probably can see the husband on the left-hand side there by the bridge. That's where we're heading. So this is part of the off-road Sustrand Route 10 through to Longlands, the off-road section. It doesn't all look like this, believe me, but we set off on quite a good firm track. So probably about a third of a mile along this tarmac. And we head straight on onto the rough track where the fork breaks. A mile and a half to Longlands. Oh, like an old billy goat puffing away here. But there's a lot of uphill. Not the steep uphill, it's just a long pull. It's good for you. Got another little ford at the bottom here. Slippy. Made it. That was a bit slippy in there. Okay. Get my gears down quickly. Going uphill. That was good. It's the only problem with going through fords. If they're not concrete crossings as they are on some of the roads around here, those ones are fine. But when you go through loose stone and gravel, they can get a bit slimy. And if you hit a stone wrong, upsets the balance. But got through safely. The husband's right. Never mind that rough stuff. Let's go up on the grass. Negotiated. So this is part of the Cumbrian Way, I believe. So we come out at this gate and we turn right up the hill. Remember this one, it's a steep one, so I'm just going to get my gears down. I've already got it pushed up to turbo. And we'll just head off gently. Steady momentum, that's what I need. Oh, I just swallowed a fly. Pre-lunch snack, I think you could call that. Anyhow, this up here on the Fell Road, nice and straight, fairly quiet. You can see the hills over to the right that we've just crossed. 10.3 miles, about another mile and a half into Caldbeck, where we might take a pit stop. It's lunchtime. They've got a number of cafes in the village, a nice little village. Into the village of Caldbeck. So we're heading for Heskett Newmarket, Sebram, Parkhead. So we're going to turn right and see how we go. Hi.
You all right?
Public bridleway, Sebram Bridge. So carrying on from that sign, I say riding at the moment alongside the river Caldbeck. So we've got a waste treatment plant on the side on the left here. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm just keeping going. So at this junction, we're going to be going left. So we're having a push. Actually, this isn't too bad. Just been caught up in the bramble bushes back there that was the problem. I think I've still got some in my trousers. Just drop my gears a bit more. I'm coming! My plan is to head for Sebrum this way and then head back via minor country lanes, Heskett Newmarket and back to the car. We'll just see how we go. Well, you can see there's been a fair few cyclists and walkers this way. I suppose for mountain bikers, that bit of uphill back there was not a problem. But most seniors, we don't do rough. If there's any doubt, I'll walk it. And that's honestly why we've put this collection of rides together. We got our bikes, these hardtail mountain e-bikes, just over a year ago. We live in Cumbria and we found it really difficult to find suitable off-road routes that were at a level that we could ride. I mean, we've got no advanced riding skills, but we like to ride off-road. But the technical high routes that are available on YouTube videos and books, well, it's just not for us. And there was nothing else to say what was rideable for us. I've walked so many bridleways up and down the county looking for doable routes, and consequently I've thought, why not put a few together, put them online so that everybody, I'm sure, is in a very similar position to us. There's lots of my age group now got e-bikes, and you don't want to ride roads because, let's be fair, roads are not the most attractive things to ride, with cars and drivers that just want to get from A to B as fast as they can. This is actually okay at the moment. Let's just hope it stays good. Obviously, looking at the surface, it must be very wet. Didn't want to go in that bit. Very wet at times. Oops, let's drop the gears in. Push it up. Push the power up, that is, not push the bike up. I'll just climb up here. As I was saying, it must be quite a wet little spot. Oh Jesus, we've got a gate at the top. lady on a bike coming through. Not stopping. I am now. I'm going downhill now, it's quite nice. Now when we got these bikes first, we kept getting punctures because we got them in sort of October time. Everyone, all the farmers were cutting their hedges, and as I say, we live in Cumbria, quite a rural spot, and we kept getting punctures from the hawthorn, spikes, thorns. So I sorted out some thicker tyres, basically, ones that were reasonably good on a road when you put the tyre pressure up, but also had quite good grip and tread for off-road stuff. I then put Tannis armour, which is like a foam insert, and finished off by putting slime tubes and touching wood if there was any about. So far so good. We got a bog. Eh? Yeah, I'm gonna. Slimy mess. Somebody's put these in like stepping stones, haven't they? The more adventurous have obviously been riding it. Hair's not. See what I mean about us seniors wanting to be careful? No, it's horrible. Onwards. So we've come 14.3 miles at this stage. Heading for that gate where the husband is. Looks like we're onto a nice little forest trail. Thanks, Nige. To the right at that gate. Might be a lot of braking and walking on this bit. The son-in-law is a proper mountain biker and he would be flying down here. But well, you can hear the back wheels are. I feel like a proper mountain biker when I've got to get out of my saddle to go over something like that. Says I.
Walking along here.
Okay, he's on and off again. I mean, off going. Well, this is a lovely little route. A bit challenging in places, but at the moment, nothing that we can't handle. Well, this is single track. You don't want to wobble on this one. Okay. Oof, nidge. Carrying on from there, along the side of this field. I think if I upload this route, it has to come with perhaps a cautionary warning. This is for the more adventurous riders. There are one or two more tricky bits, and I would suggest it's done in dry weather. It's not enough weather, a bad weather route. I mean, the fells, that part of the ride, easy enough. And you could come into Caldbeck, onto Heskett Newmarket, and return to wherever you've parked up. Avoid this bit through to Sebrum. And although it's the Cumbrian way and a bridleway, that doesn't mean very much sometimes. As I've kept saying, some of these bridleways are really not rideable for us. But at the moment, this is looking good. Because I think we've just hit a forest track. Excellent. So I think it's safe to say we've made it. Riding alongside the River Caldbeck still. Done at this point 15.8 miles. We've just come out of that junction on the right. Oh, I need to put my gears down. And we're going to go right onto the road and up this hill. Travelling along the B5305. And you've got the Sour Nook Inn on the left ahead. It's very tempting, I can tell you. I'm a bit thirsty. Heskett Newmarket, 2.5 miles. It's only 2.5 miles. Where was that bloody long way to Heskett Newmarket at? So a nice bit of downhill on a quiet road. We've done some climbing today, so I think we deserve this little bit. So, riding down into Heskett Newmarket. Beautiful ride. And I do like this downhill. And the sign says Heskett Newmarket. Another nice little village. It's got a little post office, I believe, unless it's closed, but I think there's a post office with a coffee shop. Got the old Crown pub. Oh, turning left out of the junction. So we're going to turn right here, just 6 miles to Mungrisdale. So just cycling along here. Done 21.2 miles at the moment. Right, all we've got to do is go left. The lane, the track that we set off from is straight ahead. Oh, the fell ponies are just up there on the right, but I might be able to catch them from the other side. It's spectacular views, isn't it? Oh, I'm just going to let this roll. Just to show how beautiful it is. It's a gorgeous day. There you are, that's where we've parked our cars. And we're going to go down here through the ford. Very nice.
This ride is 23 miles long. I hope you found the video useful. I think it's fair to say that the ride across the Caldbeck Fells at the start of the video is lovely. It's very quiet and, in our opinion, very doable. However, I appreciate everybody has different riding abilities, and I need to reiterate that the bridleway from Caldbeck to Sebrum, which for your information is also part of the Cumbria way and also the Reivers Trail, that section is a lot more challenging. If you think that perhaps this is going to be too tricky for you, you could always ride from Caldbeck along the road to Heskett Newmarket, completely missing out this bridleway, and that would also considerably shorten the route itself. At this point, I think it's time to say cheerio.